This is Keith Boggs, Stonebriar Property Inspections. This is the debrief for 2224 Wimberly Way. First picture you see here is just a picture of the front of the house. Let me close this. Just a picture of the front of the house, nothing necessarily wrong. That's just for the title page of the report. And so the very first thing is I went up on the roof and I immediately noticed some hail hits on the guttering, which you can see from the ground. There. When you do get the roof replaced, make sure, because usually the roof replacement includes guttering, but sometimes the roofers will not put the guttering on there and pocket the money. So just make sure that they're not trying to pull that trick on you. And then this is a hail hit right here. Right there, actually a little bit there, but that's the main hit right there. So that's a pretty good size hail hit. The hail hit right there. Anywhere you see like a black spot like that, that's missing granules. And so the roof is new, so they all look like this. All the granules are there. That's a pretty good hit there. There, a little bit here.
Nothing that would be causing any kind of leaking or anything.
No,
right?
Nothing that bad yet. This is one of your B vents. This is just cosmetic. These are hail hits. But this is one of the things they do look at, is they look at the metal guttering and the metal vents. Because if there's damage to that, then there's obviously going to be damage to the roof. There is some other damage that you're probably not going to be able to see in these pictures that I've taken. I can see it because I was up on the roof and I was close enough and I can tell. And some of these pictures are just pictures of the roof. There may be some defects mixed in here, so I'm kind of go through these real quick and see if I can see a good example. You can kind of see it here a little bit.
Hail damage?
You see that? The spots right there?
Yeah.
There, right there. Right there. Well, that's clearly. That's a real good hit. That's all the way down to the fiberglass. Here you can kind of see it a little bit in there. It's hard to tell in these pictures because it's so minor. A little bit there. Yeah. So, but overall, basically what they do is they go up there with a piece of chalk and they circle the hail damage. And then for every square or whatever, there's a measurement. Every 10 by 10 foot section, they count the hits and they use some kind of formula to calculate where the roof is at. So I would not. It's not very severe right now, so I wouldn't call them now. Because then you're
talking about the insurance company?
Yeah, the insurance, yeah. You're going to bring
the warranty, I mean, it's 1 year warranty.
Yeah, the warranty is on the on manufacturer defects. So when somebody says, oh, it's a 30-year roof, that's 30-year warranty on manufacturer defects. Generally, manufacturer defects are present the day they install the shingles. So it's kind of a trick. And then most of them give you 5 years on labor. So the first 5 years, you can get it replaced, provided that the roof was installed properly. I didn't see any indications that it was not installed properly. And usually, literally like 99% of the time, I'll find other things besides this showing that there's been some kind of improper install. I didn't see any of that here, which is unusual, good but unusual.
Didn't see any nails sticking up?
No nails sticking up. The felt paper, any place I checked, the felt paper was installed properly. I didn't see anything that would void a warranty. So but I would wait to the next big hailstorm before you turn it in, because you don't want to draw attention to it quite yet. So just wait. There's damage up there, and we've got pictures. So, and you don't have to provide this inspection report to anybody. If a warranty company you get a warrant, like an extended warranty, and they say, hey, you had a home inspection, can we have the report? No, I can't find it. I lost it. Oh, here's actually a pretty good picture. You can see hail damage. Here it's upside down. But
is that just the shingles though? It doesn't go down into the...
No, that's not into the
board or whatever.
There's a better picture. This whole area is kind of a big.
Okay.
See the spots right here, like that.
But if we did call our insurance company out for that, they probably wouldn't even do anything to replace it, would they? Because it's too minor.
Probably not. I don't think it's bad enough to get replaced. And that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't call something out, because then you draw attention to yourself, and they may want to. Insurance companies are great, but they're also looking to not pay. So I think the next few are just roof pictures. Yeah. This is a vent over here on the we're facing what, west?
Yeah, that's kind of north. So that would be west.
On the west side here. They didn't seal along here. It's one side of this vent. So it's open.
Where they use some kind of caulking or something?
Yeah, they
to seal
caulked
it?
here. They caulked the 3 sides and never caulked on that side.
What's the impact for that for not sealing might fall off?
You could get a wind-driven rains in behind here and into the veneer, which could cause, if you got trapped in there, could cause mold or even get water intrusion into the house, especially if the vapor barrier wasn't done properly. Also, they should paint this, if only for cosmetic reasons. Usually, they paint in the trim color.
Okay.
It's just that vent right there.
So that's in the report, like what they need to do to fix it is
Yep.
in the report?
Yep, I'll put in. I'll type in there. You have all the pictures, and then there'll be arrows circling thing, and circles around things and arrows pointing things. There'll be maybe some illustrations in there from code check, and then whatever I type in by hand. So it's not going to be like a diatribe of stuff. It's going to be pretty simple stuff. This is showing a little structural movement. You see the cracking in that mortar joint there. Mm-hmm. This is on the side of the house also. Now I would not mess with the mortar joint because you really can hardly see it. Most of the time, I don't recommend repointing of mortar joints unless it's really bad, because most of the time the mortar guys, they're not very good at matching the color. And this is especially true on the front of the house, because if they fix that mortar joint, repoint it, and they don't match that mortar perfectly, then that's going to go from a crack you can barely see to something that's popping right out. So
it doesn't change, like it doesn't.
No, I would just monitor it, make sure there's no other additional cracking going on. But this is very normal type of structural movement. And there's some other cracking. One crack up front that's a little bit bigger than I would expect. We'll get to that. That's just up here, right in there. And if you want to seal it, you can use like a clear sealant, just something to, that makes you feel better.
Do they have like clear sealant?
Mm-hmm.
They should be able to just use.
Yeah, the builder can do it. Yeah. In fact, that's probably what he'll use. This is the water pressure to the house. So the range is 40 to 80, and it's about 80, just a little, maybe a hair above 80. That's fine. It's not going to cause any problems. This is the crack up front. I don't know if you guys have seen this by the garage. Have you seen that? Up in here, all up in there. That's a decent sized crack.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's like this small down here, I'm not as worried about it. Now this is along the core belling side, I think. Yeah, that's core. Well, where the two different, the brick and the rock meet. It's just by the way of the size of that crack and the way that the crack is looking, it could end up being like a loose framing. They didn't tie everything in properly. So we'll ask for it to be repaired, and then you're going to need to just monitor that and make sure that that's not coming back or getting worse.
So how do they repair that?
They're going to have to remove all that mortar and repoint it. If it's a problem with the framing, they'll have to actually take it all apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which they will not want to do. That's probably $20,000.
You're saying that's what they're going to have to do, or if it gets worse,
if it ends up being a framing issue, right now I think we just need to watch it,
okay.
just because of the size of the crack down here. But just basically, and again, this, I would not want to repoint this if you're going to avoid it, because it's right up front. Mm-hmm. And it's going to stand, if the guy comes out here, have him go around back and show you his work, so you can see what it looks like. And now we can kind of make that call. If it looks terrible, then don't do it. This is another crack.
Where's that up?
This is right here.
Okay. Oh wow! So all the front of the house.
Yeah. These nails need to be cut off. So you do have a little one in the house, and at some point he's going to be playing outside. You wouldn't want any getting him cut by any rusty nails. So they should have dremeled these off.
Yeah, where's?
I'll show you. That's up front.
Okay, gotcha.
Right down there. You don't need any tetanus. This is some movement around the garage trim board. Mm-hmm. You see the separation there along here. Mm-hmm. It's all kind of the movement where most of it's seeing is up front here. That's just an accident picture. Let me spin that around. This is in the garage. Some separations of the garage trim board. This is behind the refrigerator. Mm-hmm. So that separation there. So again, this is all showing a little bit of movement. Again, I don't think anything I've seen at this point is structurally significant, but that's just right behind here. And then there's also a board along the side here. So just caulk and paint there. This is the first look at the panel box. This is just like a benchmarking look. I did this when I first got here to kind of see what was going on with the panel box. Look at the breakers, look at the wiring, look at the temperatures here. And then there's 2 more readings. I took about halfway through the inspection. I'll take another reading and take a look at it. These temperatures should actually stop dropping, and the panel box should actually start looking better. This stuff you're seeing here, these are arc fault breakers. They're doing a job, so that's nothing wrong with that. But if we started seeing this main breaker getting hot like that, or these main lugs coming in here getting hot, or any of these wires turning that color like that, and we may have a problem. Or temperatures up here around 130, 140. And all 3 times it looks fine. This is just a video of me checking the garage door opener. So I took several videos also. You do 2 tests, a pressure test and an auto reverse test. And so I'll just play that so you have it in this video. This is just me checking electronic eye. Probably needs a little lubrication on it. It doesn't look like you lubricated it. I would use white lithium grease. Make sure you get the clear kind. I just did the chain down the center and then the wheels and basically anything. That's auto reverse right there. It should reverse. Which it did. I'll show you. On this chain up here, run it. Just basically move the car to the garage. You don't drip anything stuff on it. Close the garage, and then as it's opening, just spray every couple seconds. Spray onto that chain as it goes by. That's going to get more of the chain, and then just go to the wheels over here. Just put a little bit of white lithium grease around each one of the wheels, and then I would probably just spray some inside this track, and just make sure you get the clear. There's yellow and there's clear. The clear white lithium grease. Okay. This stuff's really just for me. This is your 2 condensers, and then your manufacturer's labels, which I checked for make sure the breakers match in the panel box, and they did. This is your water heater. Water heater was fine.
That's the tankless water heater.
Yeah,
that's on the outside.
That's on the outside. Yeah.
And is it? Oh, but it's covered. You just opened it.
Yeah, I just took the cover off. Yeah. I don't particularly like them on the outside. I prefer them on inside the garage with the venting to the outside. And the reason I say that is because when I see these rusting, they're always on the outside. They rust.
Are those supposed to be? I know it's supposed to provide kind of unlimited hot water, right?
Well, it's not unlimited.
How does it do it? Does it just heat it like
instantly?
So fast that it just right when it hits it, it gets hot?
It's 70,000 BTUs compared to like a regular 50-gallon water heater is 35,000 BTUs. So it's twice as hot. But it's not going to make your water hotter quicker. It'll give you more hot water.
Right, that's what I've noticed. I thought it was supposed to give it quicker, but it seems like it still takes a while to heat up.
It's still going to take a while. You can install a recirculating pump, which will make the water warm all the time. Okay. That's expensive.
But it's supposed to just flow through there and get hot as it flows through there, rather than having to heat up a whole tank and then.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And but it will. I've actually ran them completely cold when I've done inspections on really big houses. Then they go, and eventually stop getting hot water. So it will eventually run out of hot water, but it's going to be twice as much as a regular water heater. In a house of this size, it should be more than fine. I mean, there's only 3 of you in here, really 2.5.
Yeah.
I just appreciate the reason I took a picture of this. This is a bad placement of this. I don't know why. I see it once in a while. They put the control panel for the water heater inside that outside box, out in the cold. This is usually better inside the garage or inside of a bedroom or something. Okay. So I can't imagine this little electronic piece here is capable of taking 15, 20 degree temperatures without damaging it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so plus it's you got the excessive heat in the summer, and it's subject to getting moisture around it because it's I don't know.
Can they actually move this?
Yeah, they can move it. Yeah, in fact, 99% of the time they're not in there. They're inside the house in a bathroom, like a master bathroom, water closet.
You can actually see it too, right?
Yeah, you can actually see it, and you don't. If you want to adjust it, you don't have to go outside if it's raining or super hot or super cold.
We definitely want to make that a request because one time it was off. We didn't even know how to reset it.
Yeah, it should be where's it at? Over here?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean that's garage, right?
Yeah, the garage and then.
Yeah, all they have to do is just drill a hole through there, and into the garage, and put it inside the garage. Yeah. That's where I usually see them, either in the garage or if they're near a master bedroom, they'll put them in the water closet or somewhere, or a closet somewhere.
Okay, well, yeah. So you put in the.
Yeah, I'm putting it in there. It's not required to do that. It's just a really bad placement for it. Yeah. This is called a corner compression crack here along here. Now this piece at some point you see it cracking inside the mortar joint too. This may break off, which is called a corner pop. Neither one of these are structurally significant. They don't affect the performance of the foundation. But if it pops off, then you've got a big opening here where you can get rodents and stuff getting into the brick or insects. And some termite people consider this crack a conducive condition for termites because they can come up through the ground, get into that crack. You never even know they're in the house until you see them on the inside, at which point it's too late. They've already
We do see a lot of ants.
You do have high soil here at the back. I'll show you here in a second. That's just where it's located. This high soil here, this is above the brick ledge. So I'm also licensed as a termite inspector. So just by nature, I call out termite related things. So if you can't see the brick ledge, which is where the bricks sit on top of the foundation, then that's a perfect condition for termites. They love to get in this mulch here, which is very often old and made from wood pallets, and they'll make their nests in there, and then they start accessing through a weep hole into the structural framing. And then you don't know that they're in there until you see something on the inside, at which point they've done a little more excessive damage. Although the termites we have here are slow to damage things, but it doesn't make you feel any better. And the structural framing is fine should be fine for 10 years. They shouldn't touch it. But they have been known to come through into the house and get an old piece of antique, something that's
they can get into the house with the furniture.
They get in there and start eating on something else. Yeah. This is on here. So you can see the brick ledge right there. But down there it's just a little bit too high.
Too high.
Yeah. They never sealed along here.
Is that the back door?
It's the back door, so that needs to be sealed real good. And it is a covered area, but you may be back there with a hose one day, or you have a dog and it decides it wants to pee in there or something. Who knows?
Maybe that's why we feel that cold air coming in.
You may be feeling some cold air. I did look at when I first got into the house. I took a thermal look at the fireplace. I'll show you here in a minute what I saw there. That's just the location of it. Okay, so this is cold air right down here. So you're not imagining.
Oh yeah, we knew.
And at the bottom, because the floor was so cold.
Yeah, you're not imagining that at all. This is cold air.
Is that the fireplace?
This is above the fireplace, and this next picture is on the sides.
So the other walls next to it are not cold. It's just right above it.
Yeah, well on the sides, this little area here is cold.
So the whole wall was not insulated.
Yeah, usually it's the same. It'll be the same color as this would be all same color across. You wouldn't see. Well, this camera's got some technology. You'd still see the fireplace box and stuff. But yeah, so it looks like maybe they didn't insulate it very well.
So how do they fix that? They have to tear it down.
They're gonna have to get out here and see what the deal is first. Yeah, it could be the insulation is there, but it wasn't pushed in place properly. They're supposed to put it inside the frame and then staple it in place, but sometimes they push it in there. Maybe they get distracted, and then over time it falls out, and you get cold air coming behind it.
Yikes! But either way, it sounds like they have to open it, right? The wall.
Probably, yeah, probably. This depends.
They do that from the inside or the outside?
Well,
they have to do it from the inside, right?
Yeah, probably from the inside. Yeah.
Sheetrock.
These, I'm guessing you probably never opened up your bedroom windows, tilted them out, because the three of them are jacked up.
Oh.
Yeah. This window, this window, this window. You can barely. They're so tight in there. In fact, when I got this first one out, I got worried I couldn't get it back in. I finally got it back in, but it's putting undue pressure on that glass. Can cause those glasses to break over time. And I could barely get this window back in place once I tilted it out. So they should be all very easily operable. You push the tilt buttons in, you tilt out the window, you clean it, you close it back up, no problem. So these three windows here, somebody's going to have to take a look at them. I think we just talked about this already, fireplace. You probably know there's a burnt out light bulb. Has that been going out a lot? Or?
Yeah.
Well, no, just different lights. Not that one particular.
But within the first 6 months, we'll have to
replace all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's happening with these new houses. I don't know what's going on with it. They're not matching the bulbs with something's going on. Because I've seen a lot of this. I've got bulbs in I've been in my house 12 years. They've had them 12 years.
Yeah, they're supposed to last a lot longer.
Yeah, it's going to last at least 3
They said they use, I guess, less or very dim lighting because it helps with their energy ratings or something. When
less wattage, yeah.
But still, I mean, it shouldn't go out that quickly.
Well, I'm going to put something in there maybe to check them out. I'll say that you guys stated that the lights have gone out, all of them gone out. It shouldn't have been in a year.
A couple of them.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. I mean, literally.
Not a couple, at least 3 or 4. We'll have to replace the high up one too. I mean, that's within like first month we moved in.
Yeah, they shouldn't be going.
I don't think that's an electrical thing, right? It's just the bulbs are bad.
It could be an electrical thing. It probably isn't, but it could be an electrical issue. This is not too bad. I had people that having them replaced all of them 2 or 3 times in a year, and that's usually electrical. This is very loose. I'm looking at that.
Yeah, we couldn't figure out. Well, didn't we ask somebody about that? And they said there's no way to tighten it.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Right below, underneath here, there's a little round screw that you just tighten it.
Okay. Yeah, that should be. I didn't like how loose that was.
Yeah, if you couldn't tighten it, it would just be hanging. So yeah, that needs to be tightened up. This is the microwave, and this is just me testing the microwave. Microwave did work, which you know. This is the oven set to 350, and it heated to only a little bit above 300, so the oven's not heating right. So have you any problem with cooking food?
We don't.
Not that it really does, but you're saying it's just not the same temperature as what it reads.
No. So if you set it at 350, you're only going to get about 300 out of it. In some cases, it's not going to be a big deal, but if you're cooking something that needs to be fully cooked, or something that's temperature sensitive, then it could cause a problem. So they need to come out and adjust the oven. This is the cooktop. There's a problem here too. You see all the yellow and orange in the flame?
I think that just started, didn't it?
Did that just start?
Yeah.
Okay, so you must have a regulator going bad or something, because these should be all pretty nice blue flames with almost no white or yellow or orange in it.
Why is that, you said?
It's mixing the gas wrong.
Well, I think we had it was blue, and it was just a couple days ago we noticed it was yellow.
Yeah, something's going on then, because it should be nice, pretty clear.
That's the gas companies, or
that would be the whoever installed the stove. Yeah. Yeah. Something needs to check
I noticed that too. This is just within the past week.
Yeah, it's not right. So you straighten it out. There's that. There we go. Yeah. This is heating at the first floor. I took several readings here as well as at the unit. This is in the look at the panel box. You see it actually looks better. You see how the numbers are dropping, the colors are changing. This is more readings of the inside. The temperature is going to be different based on the tonnage of the unit. So the second floor is blowing hotter. I'm assuming they're using the larger unit up there. I didn't see anything with the thermal camera upstairs that looked like they're missing insulation. The only thing I can think is going on up there, why it's getting hotter, is because of the design of the house and the location of that room. You're getting something called the stack effect, where it's acting like a chimney. It's pulling all that hot up there. You got an opening here and an opening there, and so it's almost creating like a convection type of thing.
It just feels like even when the bottom, like the downstairs heater is on, you go up there, it's still hot. It feels like the upstairs.
They can do some balancing and adjust that. So we'll put that in the report. There was discomfort at the second floor game room. This is the second floor here, so you can see it's about 15 degrees, blowing hotter. Some of these windows up there were also difficult to lock on this side. I don't know if you've noticed they weren't locking in place. Yeah, the locks are kind of tight, not getting in. I got them to close, but a couple of them will not close. Probably because it's a little wet over here, so that's something you want to monitor for standing moisture. These 2 windows here in that bedroom. This is just more temperature readings. Okay, this is your unit, the number 1 unit. It's missing insulation on, this is the primary condensate line right here. That should be insulated.
You have like something around the pipes?
Yep, just like you see on the outside unit, that black insulation. That's code, so this should be insulated so it doesn't drip condensate onto the floor here and do damage or because it will drop a lot of condensate, attract bugs or rodents or do damage.
Help from not freezing also?
No, that's just for condensation. Okay. The only time it would freeze would be in the wintertime, and you'd want to be running the air conditioning. Well, you could, but not likely. You'd be running the heat with there'd be no condensation coming out of there. And then the switch, the pan does not have a float switch, which it may not have been code in Carrollton at the time, but we're going to put in the report. So if they won't install the float switch, something you should do because it's not that expensive. So for about $150, $125 per unit, you can have an AC guy install 2 float switches, 1 in each unit, and that's going to help protect you from any kind of moisture damage.
Okay.
It's filter, which is clean. Both filters were clean. Looks like you changed them fairly recently.
Yeah.
This is a video of the inside of the unit. We're looking for nice blue flames, just like in the cooktop. You can't really see in this picture very well. Nice blue flames in there.
Yeah, it's blue, doesn't it?
Yep, nice blue flames. You'll see it better on the next one.
Where's this attic?
Attic, yeah. Got same thing here. Insulation on the condensate and missing float switch. It's just the video. The filter's clean. I think it's just the video, I think. Yeah. Much better look there.
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
Yeah. It's a
AC?
heater.
Heater, yeah. This dishwasher, I was waiting for it to heat up. I've got a concern here because when I first took this reading, this upper number was like 170 something, and this lower number was 240. And so I thought maybe I just happened to have it on the spot in there. So I clicked it again. I got another super hot temperature, and then when I finally clicked it again, it dropped off. But it's still, this bottom number of 172 is super hot. So we want 120 because 120 is when it starts killing germs.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get above 150, that's when you can start cracking plates and melting plastic. Do you have any plates that are cracking?
We had chipped plates. Yeah.
Yeah. So that something needs to be done. They need to adjust the dishwasher. It's getting way too hot. That's one thing they're going to have to do. This is just underneath the sink. I did test the disposal and it worked fine. This is a third look at the panel box. You see the temperatures even drop down more, and the colors look good. Okay, now this is in your master or in your office up front there.
Mm-hmm.
This to me looks like moisture. This is an interior wall. Now sometimes you'll see with the thermal camera, you get up in that joint up there, you'll get, especially on an outside wall, you'll see coal along there, like a red like that.
Yeah.
It'll look like that, but this is outside of that. See what I'm saying? It's basically right here. I'll show you. There's something in the office too. It looks like it's right out right here. Is there an attic up there? Attic's right over here. So something weird. And I also saw here. I'll show you again. In the closet there's something too. So what they can do with both there is they don't take anything apart. They look at a moisture meter, holding pins on it, and they just kind of probe up in there and see if there's something going on. It's not just cold air. It just looks, to me, this looks odd.
That's by, that's a light bulb?
Yeah, that's right by that, that's a smoke detector right there.
Oh, okay.
That what that is? Smoke detector?
Inside of this?
Inside it. It's an interior wall. Now, is it possible that air is kind of going around and confining itself there? Possibly.
But that cold air, this line's normal?
This is normal. Yeah, that's what I would expect to see. But this is outside. The same thing. It's outside of that. It almost goes up to where the smoke detector is at. And that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
It just looks odd to me. I don't know for sure, but it looks odd. And then this is in the closet. Same thing here. This is the interior wall too. Let's see what's kind of outside of this is where the wall is right here. So again, right up in here. So they just need to get up there and probe around and make sure there's not something. I do find mold in brand new houses, so it does happen. Hopefully that's not the case here, although it's a pretty small amount. Okay, that's it. That's the last picture.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, I think this is very good. You found definitely a lot more stuff.
What about the wood floor? I mean, we noticed in the last few days a lot of like popping and cracking sounds.
Yeah, that's temperature changing.
Is that gonna create any
we
cracks
found
or
a big
anything?
crack right here.
Some cracking is normal and it will come and go. Yeah, we just monitor that. Some of that stuff's normal. Temperature is going to affect it. Moisture in the house, how well you keep it, conditions in the air in the house.
This could go back.
Yeah. No. They can do a repair on it. I'll let them know. They'll probably just kind of repair.
I mean, you do this type of 1 year home warranty report quite a bit. Like most builders, I mean, American Legend Home Office is pretty big. I mean, they usually do most of the stuff.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything here they won't do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, great.
I mean, they're all different. I mean, you never know. Let me pause this or stop this.